Hey friends, I'm in Nashville. I drove down last night for my buddy Andy Reese's birthday party, and I'm going to drive back to Indianapolis here in a few, but I wanted to talk to you guys first. There's a question I've been getting on the channel a lot. It pops up every now and then, but recently it's popped up a whole lot. People enjoying the channel and enjoying the interviews with these interesting people. And the question is, how do you know all these people? How did you get to know so many of these interesting folks? And I'm going to try to answer that this morning. And I think the answer is we can do so much more than we think we can. And I'm going to put those two together so they make sense for you here in just a bit. But first, I got to go get coffee. Why don't you come with me? I could go up here and get coffee at the office of the hotel, but it's pretty weak, and I'd like to have something a little better. Over here, there's a Clown. They sometimes have decent coffee, but it's got that corporate aftertaste. So we're going to go across this strip mall over here. There's a really good mom and pop coffee shop, and we can try to give them some support. So I got distracted along the way, and I wanted to show you guys this art installation I've been working on. It says something about bro country in the state of modern mainstream music in all categories, but in this particular category, Nashville. Maybe you guys could come up with a name for it. Help me out. Name my art installation. Okay, back to coffee. How you doing?
Hi.
Can I get a large black dark coffee, whatever your darkest is?
Sure.
Pretty please. All right, we got the coffee. Let's get back to the hotel. When I walked into the hotel room, I dropped my camera. It's the first time I've ever dropped this particular camera, and I've had it for over 2 years. It's the one that you've seen me film every interview with. And it was recording at the time, and I was kind of afraid to pick it up. And I picked it up. It looked fine, and it's still recording. I haven't even shut it off yet. So it's good to know they make some things pretty sturdy and strong these days. I don't know. I hope you guys will stay with me here, because I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey and open up, talk about some things I've never talked about before. And a lot of this is because the New Year's is coming up, but I really want you guys to know that I believe in the idea that you can do way more than you think you can. I think that's a very strong message to carry with you, and it took me decades to figure that out. So I grew up in a working class family. I didn't know anyone who had a career. Everybody that I knew had jobs, and everybody I knew hated their jobs, but it's what they had to do to support a family and make money. There wasn't this idea of some lofty thing. That's the reality of working class life. Some people are fortunate enough to where they stumble into something and they love doing it. And if you're one of those people, man, I'm so happy for you. Really happy for you. That's not the reality I knew when I was a kid. So I remember going into my guidance counselor's office, and it's that talk that they give you of what do you want to do with the rest of your life. And I think it's a really, really lame thing to throw on a kid, but that's what we do. So I know 50-year-olds who have no idea what they want to do. They never have. And I said, well, I just want to be happy. And that's a little too abstract for a guidance counselor. They're like, no, we need to get you going towards some sort of a profession. And I had these, years later, I realized my brain worked different than a lot of people. We all have little things that we're better at. And I would go down these long intellectual runs as a 13-year-old and just question things. And so there's this question in my head: what if we lived in a world where a person's value was not judged by what they do 8 hours a day or 40 hours a week? This idea for me is I wanted to do something creative. I wanted to lead a creative life. And that was a very vague thing, but it's been the guiding principle through my life, is trying to figure out what that means in this moment. And then, well, can I make some money at it? And so I told the guidance counselor these things, and I feel terrible for this person, because they're probably like, oh God, this is one of those kids that, well, how do I talk to this kid? And the guidance counselor's like, well, you need to know, you can do anything that you want in this world. Gives me that speech. This is America. You can do anything you want. I said, I'd like to play center for the Indiana Pacers, basketball team, but I'm 6'1". I'm slow. I have a 4-inch vertical leap. And no matter how hard I work at that, it's never going to happen. It's just not possible. And I feel bad for the guidance counselor who's trying to help me, but I was stuck in my own negativity or, whatever's in my head as a teenager. And years later, I realized if he would have changed his language just a tiny bit to just saying, okay, maybe you can't do anything you want in this world, but you can do so much more than you think you can. It's like that simple thing. It's so simple, but it took me, I was probably in my 30s before I really kind of just thought of it that way. And so the whole time through life, I'm trying to make my way towards this creative thing and try to figure out what it even means. I'm writing songs all the time. At one time, it was just kind of like, well, if I played guitar in a bar, I see people doing that. They probably make a little bit of a living. Everybody I know don't make very much money, and they're doing things they hate. Well, hell, what if I'm playing guitar? And I never really got around to doing that. That morphed into like, wow, I'm getting a little bit better at writing songs, and I'm kind of expressing who I am when I do it. What if I could do that and play it for people? And I started doing that and making some money here and there. And I worked a day job planting trees for 10 years while I'm, playing music. So there's my steady money with tree planting. Very, very hard work, but then there's my creative outlet. And I'm leaving out a lot. There's stretches where I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 10 other guys just to keep the bills low, so I could like $50 a month on stuff just so I can keep at it. Do the math. 10 other guys in a 2-bedroom apartment. I did that for a few years, back when. But anyway, just trying to dedicate myself to make this, find this thing where I can, and this is following this creative life is a place where I can be happy. All of this years later, you live like this and you meet people. You're on the road and you meet somebody. I was here in this hotel room a few weeks ago. I said something about this to the Patreon people, but just down the hall were some of the guys in Dale Watson's band, and I got to meet those cats, and they watched the channel. If you're out there, hey, one of the cats played bass for Johnny Paycheck, and he was the bass player in the house band at Gillies, and he did a lot of other really, really cool stuff, played with Red Volker, all this stuff. Just because I'm out there doing it, because I'm in this crummy hotel room in Nashville, all these years of just touring around, you meet this person there, you meet this person there. After a while, there's a moment when you've met enough people that you like and you enjoy being around, and they realize you're a decent human being. I'm a good listener, and they'll introduce you to somebody else, and you just meet a lot of people like that. And there's not a lot of money in this music world, but I never cared about the money. I didn't care about being famous or anything like that. It's the stuff like that I really enjoy. Like last night, going to Andy's birthday party, and I used to drive down from Indianapolis to see the Time Jumpers at the Station Inn on Monday nights, and was mesmerized. I could not believe this many people playing at this high level in one band, and they're playing this swing kind of music. It just was all like, wow, this is a special thing that you don't see happen in that many places, and here it is. I can be 15 feet away from it. Stuff like that mesmerized me. And then I became close friends with Andy. I played poker with him forever. He's a beautiful, beautiful cat. Just unbelievably talented, beautiful cat. And who stories of the people he's walked with are just amazing, and we'll share that with you. So the two things you need to take from this that are very, very important. Otis, how did you meet all these people? Well, it was years of just meeting one person here, one person there, and after a while, you realize, like, I went through my phone once about 6 months ago. I never call anybody, so I never think of who's in the phone. And I kind of like sat back and thought, man, if like 19-year-old me could see this would be like, I would think I had the most amazing life ever, but here I am. I have had a pretty damn good life. I've enjoyed all of it, but I'm still in this crappy hotel room in Nashville, and getting to talk to people who actually care about hearing this kind of things. So the two important things that you need to think about, actually the most important, we'll go to number 2, is when the new year starts, you can do so much more than you think you can. And the more giant leaps you try to take at once, the worse it's going to go. But if you do that little bitty thing every day, I don't know what it is you're trying to do, trying to become a better songwriter, trying to become a better guitar player. If you just do that a little bit every day, half hour, how about a half hour 3 times a week? Over the course of time, it's going to happen. You're going to get the hang of it. You're going to be better. If you're trying to quit smoking, if you're trying to quit drinking, you can't control the giant leap of not drinking or smoking for the next 10 years. But you can not smoke today. You cannot drink today. Luckily, I've never had to deal with those things. So if I'm being naive about how difficult that is, I apologize. But I think you understand the point. We can do so much more than we think we can if we just really give it a try and lean into it. And that's what I try to challenge myself with, creative things. So when the pandemic started and we all got locked down, I just started talking to people on YouTube. And a lot of you guys dug it. I just made a video, maybe once every 3 days, maybe once a week, maybe every day for a little stretch or whatever. I've published over 700 videos since then. And if you told me ahead of time I was going to do that, I'd be like, no, I don't even want to do that. No way. But it's become part of my creative habit, thing that I enjoy doing and I dig doing. And I want you to take this as some sort of like a nuts and bolts approach, which you know all of this. It's just the doing of it. It's the getting up in the morning. The first thing I do, I get up, I make coffee, drink the coffee, and relax and pet the cat, and then I go start on making a video. I'm entering a stretch where I got a lot of things coming up, so I'm trying to write more and play guitar more stuff. There's a lot of dates that are on the website. I'll put some of those down below, tour dates. And I'm going to make a new record this year, like a new, Otis Gibbs original material record, and I'm trying to finish all of that to a point where we're like, all right, this is ready to go. And that'll take a lot. It's a big lift. It's always hard, and it's even harder when I'm doing things like this channel. It was hard when I was doing the audio podcast, but it's hard isn't really the reason you don't do it. You just do a little bit every day, and it kind of takes care of itself. And if you get involved with some people, I wonder if you can just not rely on other people having to do things for you or giving you permission to do things. It makes life way easier. That means you might not make as much money from it, or in the short term, and you might not be able to do things the perfect way, but you can do things. Like I say, the first record I made, 49th and Melancholy, I recorded it in my buddy Nick's laundry room on a 2-track reel-to-reel tape recorder, and just sang into a microphone, and it's very imperfect, but I made a record. I could have sat around and was like, nah, it's got to be Abbey Road, I need it to be a perfect studio environment, blah, blah, blah. I could have done that, and I may have never made a first record, but I was just like, no, I want to make a record. My back focus in here feels like my focus is off. But I wanted to make a record, so I just did that, and I put it out into the world. That's the record that the folks overseas, my buddy Graham in Newcastle, heard and liked, and then wanted me to come over and tour, or at least eventually, but that was the first one he heard. I could have been waiting to make a perfect record, and it wouldn't have happened. That's the point. Just do a little bit this year. Try to come up with something that you really feel like you want to do, maybe you can be good at, and just chip away at it. And most importantly, if it makes you happy, run towards it. If it makes you miserable, maybe you should just reconsider the whole thing, because it's not worth it being miserable. I know a lot of miserable people, and it's not good. And if I'm lucky enough to know what makes me happy so I can go to it. A lot of people never get to that place, and I feel bad for them. I don't understand it, but I don't understand a lot of things about the world. But that's my speech for 2024. Consider this a New Year's pep talk or whatever. I have to drive back to Indianapolis. The sun is coming up pretty good here outside the hotel room. I'm going to drive 5 hours back to Indy, and when I get there, I'm going to edit this together so that I can upload it on Saturday morning. It's Friday right now. But anyway, Happy New Year's to you guys. I appreciate you being here and watching all these videos. And leave me some comments down below about whatever. And listen to my song, Sputnik Monroe. I'll put it here. And I'll see you somewhere down the road. Much love to you.